Beast Wars got started, or Beasties as it's known in Canada, was a proposal that came to us from Hasbro Toys, the company that makes the Transformer toys. They've been around for about 10 years, and they had a new version that they wanted to market and also expand on, and so they came to us with a proposal for a television show. And we are doing this project jointly with Alliance Communication Corp out of Toronto. We built on the success that we had made with the first 2 seasons of Reboot.
It was a rat trap who led us into the Box Canyon, and nearly determination.
So maybe I can tell you a little bit about how each episode is made. The animators work at workstations like this with silicon graphics machines. We use a basic animation package called Softimage, and we've written our own software that we plug in on top of that. It's a trade secret. No one else knows what our software contains, and that's what allows us to do things the way we do them and the speed with which we do them. Each episode, we lay the dialogue down first. The voice actors go to Pinewood Studios downtown in Vancouver and do the dialogue for the episode. I really enjoy the way the voice actors perform, so for me that's the most fun. I mean, it's very colorful and bright and enjoyable.
Don't you at least want to say something to him?
Yes. I'm sorry about your friend. I know how much he meant to you.
Optimus is insane to waste my talents on a futile hunt.
Rhinox thinks those alien sites are dangerous. Optimus wants us to find as many as
Hi-ya! For the royalty! You're food for the colony Maximals!
No, Inferno, not wait for your signal.
Well done, Maximal. The coolest thing about this job is that, A, you get to work with people who are an absolute riot to work with, and all the cast in the show is terrific. The directors, everybody involved with this business, it seems, is an absolute hoot.
Hello?
So I get to do things that I used to get, bugged for at school, and they get to do it for pay. So I'm having an absolute right to get paid. To my mind, is a challenge to your skill to make these characters come to life that are drawn. I love the end product, because when you see it all put together, the music, the sound effects, and everything, it just all comes to life, and it's really terrific.
Which the Predacons will gladly steal.
Well, that's just prime.
The director and the supervising animator for each episode sit down and decide what lines are going to be used, what the show should look like visually, and they start storyboarding it out electronically, producing keyframes for each of the scenes.
And we start to just divide it up and looking at the strengths of each individual animator, the skills and background experience of each individual animator, and then trying to figure out what part of the show, what segment would be suitable for their skills and strengths. Let's widen it out. Yeah. Maybe bring it around to the right a bit. Just something to make it look a bit different, not glaringly. Yeah. Not a glaring change, but a very subtle change. I like to work right at the desks with the animators. I go there and I say, okay, here's the series of shots. We've got 6 shots. And it's going to be this wide shot, then we're going to go in for a close-up, we're going to follow this character over there, and we just try and piece it together. And I try to look for the creative expression of each animator.
We work as a team to put together a whole show, and we each get different sections at a time. And it'll start with getting the sound from the edit suite, and then we go from there, we bring it into Grin, our in-house software, and then we make the characters talk. And then from making them talking, we bring them into a scene and we set it up ourselves with the set and the characters where they are, and we put the heads on them. And then when you're in Grin, you can actually print out what your character is saying, and it'll give you a readout of every frame, what he's saying, where and when, and at what time, so that way we can hit our cues at the right time if we want him to jump when he's saying but, and we can do that or whatever, and then basically we become the actor. We think of the shot, what's saying and what we want done, and then virtually we act it out through the characters.
Each character has a skeleton system, so if I want to move his arm, we could just rotate the skeleton. So we animate the skeletons in a wire format, and Then once that's done, we do what's called a hardware render, which is just the skin with no textures or anything. We send that to the Avid. They either approve or disapprove of the test, telling us what we could do, or if it's a go, then we send it to final render with, which has the lights and the textures and atmosphere and everything. So,
you know, if we're not playing with action toys, having them run around with, you know, saying, okay, the camera's like this. I'm doing this at home a lot too now. The whole idea is just using anything you can as a communication tool. I sort of sketch out a few things. Here's a bit of, here's this, the gazelle scene. And I just try to jot down, I'm not a very good drawer, but I try to put down an idea of the size and the basic framing that we would use to tell this little gazelle story. Sort of a medium shot of the gazelles, then the tiger approaching, then the gazelle being chased by the tiger, and then the tiger takedown. So basically 4 shots, and we try to just explain that. And then we basically build that and work with the animator. When you're working in live production, you take it for granted that a character's just going to move right and walk right. All of a sudden, you're here, and you have to watch every little thing. Sometimes they lock off, or they just doesn't seem natural. You have to think about throwing in a bit more of a shoulder. You start to break down aspects of the human movement.
Your marksmanship is unimpressive.
Oh, no!
It's amazing what a little sound can do to a scene, to establish a character's environment. Sound is a huge part. This is the visual storytelling part. Sound is always, in my experience, has always been a huge part.
I take a look at what they've animated. Usually it's a lot of shooting and explosions and a bunch of transformations, and I'll take our sounds we got, and if I need to, I'll create new ones. We got a lot of computer beeps and stuff like that. I'll take a few computer sounds and I'll put them all, layer them, and try different things, see what sounds the best. I'll just keep going through it. He gets shocked coming right up. We got a bunch of electric zaps and stuff. I'll combine a few of those to get a good hard kick.
It's very rewarding, especially now that the shows are out on TV, and especially just to, you know, see the faces of little kids and they think you're a star. They ask you for your autograph and they're like, wow, you do that?
Our scriptwriters are very quick and sarcastic and have a very dry sense of humor.
And thus ends the glorious reign of Pterosaur, a lost battle, a missing Black Caraclia, and who knows what damage inflicted by the Maximal Spy!
Oh, my aching head.
Usually the feeling I get when the 8 weeks of animation is over, that's, it's a good feeling.
You're food for the colony Maximals! Ah!
No, Inferno, not wait for your signal.
So much for surprise. You take the cat. I'll support Inferno.
Wasminator waits for signal.
I'm into using this medium in a way that allows us to try new things and make some discoveries with camera moves, with cuts, with the possibilities of this medium.